So, good evening everybody, good evening, and welcome to round 3 of season 7 of Torpedo League here in America for the American Grand Prix, the Circuit of the Americas. So it's a been an exciting race. Obviously I'm Kyle. Unfortunately I'm commentating alone because Clint is unavailable, but I will soldier on for today because you know you have to, you gotta carry on. The show must go on. So unfortunately, I'm sad to not be hosting with Clint, but you know what? I'll have to manage on mine. I've done it before, and I'll have to try and do it again. As you can see, a lot of the drivers already set a lap. You know, we've only started the stream halfway through qualifying, and currently you're seen in the Alpine once again in first place. The Alpine's clearly very strong in qualifying. Of course, Fair's actually won last week. Who on board with now is he enters the pits behind Williams. Yeah, the rest not on a lap. Jackson on a lap. He's not on a lap. Is anyone on a lap? Dammers was on a lap and he spun it. Jake is on a lap. He's got a spinning other turn in front of him, but that doesn't really affect him much. Through the braking zone, yes, he keeps it on track. So yeah, I mean, if you missed last week, this Fairs is currently P11 in the Alpine. He got pole and won the race ahead of Lewis and William, who finished second in the Alfa Romeo, who's unfortunately not here tonight, and Charlie in the Alfa Tauri getting a very good third place around the circuit, the Barcelona Catalunya. Very difficult race. A lot of spinning actually. There was a lot of spinning last week, so hopefully that will change this week. Although we saw Dammers already making having a spin, so. Maybe that's not good news. Maybe that's not good news for the rest of the race. But I mean, we're here for the Circuit of the Americas. It's a very good track. Very. I mean, I think it's quite. I mean, the first sector is very flowing. It's also very challenging not to invalidate. And we haven't raced this in season 2, so it's going to be a new circuit for a lot of the drivers in Torpedo League. So I'm excited. I think I'm excited that we are back here, and hopefully the drivers are too. Of course, this is the first of the sort of a back-to-back American doubleheader, because of course we're racing at Miami next week. So, yeah, hopefully the drivers will impress with the doubleheader in America. Of course, Miami will be an all-new circuit, but we'll cover that next week. So we're here in Circuit of the Americas, on board goes fired up in the Williams once again, reserving. Didn't have a good race last time out. He'll be having for improvement and going through the penultimate corner. It looks like he maybe carried a bit too much speed there. He's already run out of deployment of the ERS, so maybe the battery runs out really early. Crossed the line, put himself up into P5, 1.2 seconds behind the current pole man, who is Yassine in the Alpine. The Alpine's looking very strong in qualifying once again, even though Fair hasn't set a lap yet. Only 11 drivers have set laps so far. As that is, I believe that's Charlie. Is Charlie going up to P4, 133.8, the fourth drive into the 133s so far in this qualifying session. I just don't see anybody else on a lap right now. Is Juan Hernandez on a lap? Juan Hernandez is on a lap. The current championship leader, the season 5 champion, round 1's race winner too. Unfortunately, his race in his home country in Spain wasn't as good as he obviously wanted, expected. So he will be looking for much more improvement. He locks up there. So far, this is a decent lap for Juan Hernandez going through this. I think it was a triple right-handed, not a mistake. Triple double, one of two. So if it's not valid, which is good. Goes through the penultimate corner, doesn't run wide. The apex, there's run out of battery. The battery, there's a lot of battery. I'm going to get out of that camera shot. And he goes up into P3, 1,000 behind the Vestos in the Mercedes, which is also on a lap, so I expect their best to improve. Those Mercedes haven't really had the best season so far. So they will be looking to really get a good result here. Sylvester 2.5 tenths up already, so so far this lap will be enough to put him on provisional pole position. As I'm going to have to switch the camera angle there. This lap will be good enough to put him on provisional pole position. But he's got this right hand, this long right hander to go, then the last 2 corners. Oh, and he's invalidated. He's used too much curb on the outside before turning in. And that has ruined what looks like a perfectly good lap as fares. I mean, once again, into the 132s. The man who's got both pole positions so far, looking like he's going to take a 3rd position in a row. I don't know how he does it. He just looks incredibly strong in qualifying, and you know, he's looking like a real contender for that Season 7 championship. But we'll see what happens over the course of the race, because of course points are not for qualifying, points are gained in the race. As we'll go on board with Jackson, Juan's teammate, currently in P6, got a podium in round 1. I think currently 3rd in the championship, Ferrari leading the team championship of course, so far so good for Jackson. Of course won the Season 4 championship with Ferrari, so he'll be looking to do it again as he puts himself into P5 with a 133.6 right behind his teammate. So far, not a bad qualifying for Ferrari. He was on lap. We've on board Jake, because Jake's finished the lap. It's a 134.5, or he's starting one. It looks like he's starting one. There's the Williams there. Getting out the way, going on track. This is what you like to see. Oh, and Jake is trying to cut that inside curb, and he spun. Car probably bottomed out there. You can see the car bottoming out, and that's just causing him to spin as Mimula 1 puts himself up into P10. It looks like Skills Virus also into the 132s, 132.994. It's an Alpine 1-2 yet. Where have we seen that before? It's an Alpine 1-2 yet again. Both Alpines just, they have qualifying on lock, it seems. Hopefully someone will match them. Robin, we'll go on board Robin. Unfortunately retired out of the race in Spain. He's on a lap. Doesn't look like he's not on a lap. Okay. If it was on a lap, my apologies. Jake is invalidated. You see Dammers. Dammers is on a lap. He's starting his lap. Through this really difficult S section. Very easy to invalidate if you go over the white line, but he's not invalidated so far. 2.5 tenths up on his current lap time so far, although I expect a lot more improvement with the following 2 sectors. Again, no invalidation so far. But so far, so good. He's going to come up to the really long straight, the back straight, if you will. Probably the best overtaking opportunity in the race. One of 2 DRS zones on the track. Aims with his DRS already needing 20% battery, so the ERS usage is very high, it seems, in a qualifying lap round here. So that's one thing to keep an eye on for the drivers. It's going to be hard to manage that ERS usage, but so far Dam is 7.5 tenths up on his lap. So that's looking like it's going to be a marked improvement, but he's still got almost ways to go, so he's going to improve even further. I don't know where it's going to put him, because his lap time is really unrepresentative of his pace with 4 minutes to go left in the session. Going with the right hand, he spun here last time, no issues there this time, so he learned his lesson. Taking a bit of the orange curve there on the inside, but that doesn't seem to unsettle the car much. Through the final corner, open up the DRS, this is going to put him into 133.8, and he's ahead of his teammate Charlie, so it's AlphaTauri 6.7. So the good lap there from Dammers. I'm sure he'll find more time at the end of the session. Of course, 3.5 minutes left to go, so pretty much all the drivers are going to be sort of going for their final laps, final runs now, I should say, as that's AlphaTauri slowing down the first sector. That's nothing to worry about. Goes fired up. Coming into the start of the 3rd sector, he's marginally up, but only by a tenth, which you'll see move up 1 position, but only 1 position as things stand, ahead of Evan in the Aston Martin. But we shall see what he can do in this final sector. If he can find any more time, probably need to find maybe 4.5 tenths just to actually get into the 133s, or 4 tenths really to get into the 133s, I should say. Maybe he can do it, I don't know. We shall see. It goes fired up. He's going to go around the final corner. He's going to open DRS. Does he get into 133s? No, he doesn't. It's a 134.0, and he moves us up to P9. So he's close on the barrier. He's on the border of the 133s, but he just didn't quite get in. That probably is going to be his last lap. I don't know if he'll get back to the pits in time, and he'll go on board his teammate Sin, who is actually quite improving at the moment. Gets that corner fairly well, no issues there. Through the final corner, I don't think he'll be ahead of his team, but he's definitely going to be ahead of stuck here. So he moves himself, yeah, he moves himself up. He moves himself up into P14. There's all the drivers coming out now for their final laps. Well, that's a great shot right there. That is a very great shot. You can see ahead of squad. They're all contact between a Mercedes and a Ferrari. That could be a penalty if they're not careful knowing this game and its mechanics. But it looks like they've gotten away with it. That Ferrari of Juan and Andy were trading really close to Vesta there. Vesta lets him go wisely with 1 minute and 48 seconds to go. I think Vesta and Brendan might be the last driver. Maybe Jackson's probably the last driver who's going to be able to cross the line to set a lap. So, yeah. Crunch time for all the drivers right now. It's an Alpine 1-2 yet again. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this season, but honestly, Dama's retired from the second, so he's happy with his lap time. He's not going to be able to set another lap. So who's first on track? Does it look like it's an Aston Martin? It is an Aston Martin. Well, Evan Dalton is just better than retired from the session. That's in the pit lane, I think. Well, that may be the pit entrance, which could be very embarrassing, I must say. Anyway, Evan, what can you do? I don't know commentator curse him, so we'll hope he gets through the S section. A-OK. The left, then the right, and then the left again, then now to right again, and he looks like he's navigated it without invalidating. So far, so good for Evan. He's 1.5 tenths up. That's not going to see him improve on his position, but again, there's 2 more sectors to go. So we'll see what he can do. Again, no invalidation as we head over this little crest. And he's now going to, this left-hander, which is going to set him up for the long straight. Hopefully he gets a good exit. Looks like he does. No, maybe a bit of wall spin, I'm not too sure. But he's going over the DRS now, and this is the long back straight, so I'm not sure whether he's running a low downforce setup or a high downforce setup, but hopefully he'll be able to gain some time on the previous lap there. So far the lap looks decent. Doesn't take a quick bit curve on the outside. Oh, currently 4 tenths up, so this will probably be enough to see him move up a few positions if he can gain some more time in the final sector. There is quite a few positions to be gained for Evan if he can find maybe a tenth or two of improvement in the final sector. Going through this triple left-hander, no issues at the moment. No, it takes it perfectly fine. Now through this left-hander, the penultimate corner does invalidate. No, he doesn't. Takes a good amount of curb. And through the final corner, and I don't think he should invalidate here. He doesn't. And he's going to open to the DRS. It's going to be a 133.8. And he goes up into P6 ahead of Dammers. Good lap there from Evan. What can Charlie do behind him? Will he beat his teammate? Yes, he does. Charlie with a 133.3 goes up into P3 for now. That's Robin up into P6. Oh, and that's Hernandez. He's not going to finish lap. He's going to give his teammate Jackson situation instead of Vesta 1.5 tenths up. That's not going to be enough for him to go on pole position. That's a spinning Aston Martin there, I think, Chloe. So she's not going to improve on her time either. That's Liam Huisman into P10. Yeah, Robin in P6. Both Alpines are done with qualifying. They're not going to improve. So it looks like it's going to be 1-2 unless maybe Vesta or Jackson can find a lot of time in the final couple of corners. What is Vesta going to do? Is he going to be pole position? I don't think it is. It's a 133.1. Moves up into P3. What can Jackson do? He's invalidated too. He's not going to improve. Maybe the one up and stay for P13 and Chloe spun. So she's not going to improve. And that is qualifying. And once again, it's pole position for Fairs. His third pole of the season. The only driver to get pole position this season, in fact. So once again, Fairs showing his class in qualifying. And if he can convert this into a win, he looks more than likely to take the championship lead. As Yassine is very much unhappy with. I don't know if it's either the game, but I mean, Yassine feels like he should have got pole, and he probably could have got pole. But it shouldn't be disheartened because you don't get points for qualifying, you get points for the race. So it's all to play for. The Alpines once again looking very strong, but Vesta also is right there with them. So this is not it's not going to be an easy race for Fairs, as we've seen, not by a long shot. So that is the top 3. Charlie in P4, championship leader Juan is in P5, Robin in P6, Jackson in P7, Evan in P8, Dammers in P9, Liam in P10, Ghost Fired up P11, Jake only in P12, it's Irish P13, 14 and 15 with Brendan, Chloe and Niall, and Scott is unfortunately last. in the Williams. The Williams is not having the greatest qualifying so far, but like I said, it's all to play for as we head into the race. As it is a dry session, it's a dry race, so that's a no rain, so that's a net sort of a positive for all the drivers. Of course, formation lap is off, so we're gonna be calling the start almost immediately. So hopefully, I can call it well enough without sounding too cringe, I suppose. Wish I can't do my predictions, but I'm gonna say fair. Unfortunately, Clint's not here, so he can't do our predictions. But I'll just say Fairs will take another win, and he'll take the championship lead. With Juan Hernandez only down at P5, it looks like, and he doesn't look like he's got the pace of. Well, he's not on the. He doesn't. It doesn't look like he's got the pace of the guys ahead of him to match them. Now, obviously, I might be wrong, and he might call me an idiot for saying that, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway. The lights are going out, and we are away for round 3, and this will be a very good start for Fairs. As he's maintained his pole position, just seen with an absolutely shocking start as we head into turn 1 of Vesta. Also looking very strong, and he does. Vesta's into P2. I don't know who that is. Oh, that's just that Charlie's round. It is Charlie's round. I don't know if he's been hit there, but his great start in his qualifying has just gone. This has just gone down the drain, hasn't it? But Fairs maintaining P1. He's got a few drivers going off track there. Looks like that's a Mercedes. Formula 1. He's round. Juan Hernandez got 5 second penalty for gaining a place, but Fairs has kept his lead. Avesta is into P2. Jackson and Juan, P3 and 4 for Ferrari once again. You know, Juan Hernandez with an awesome start, as you're seeing, dives down the inside of Juan. But Juan keeps position for now. You're seeing, didn't really have a great start. You know, he definitely bogged down on those tyres, it looked like. Not compared to his teammate Fairs, who literally probably got the best out of them all, I think. So maybe you've seen that's something you've seen he's got to work on, I think. I don't know. But as you go through, start the third sector, it's still Fairs in the lead. Robin in P6, Dammers and Forever Sin. Forever Sin starting from last place up in 8, so that's perfect. He's on the hard tyre as well, so Forever Sin with the perfect start, really. Nayo in P9 and Chloe in P10, so those three have had, well, really good starts actually, so I'm sure they'll be happy. Of course, there's always going to be winners and losers, but so far, Fairs is still out in the lead. But Avesta is keeping with him, so this is not going to be an easy race for Fairs by any stretch of the imagination. He's just a fast up at the Grand Prix, of course, because that is definitely what happens when you cross the line first. And he's got a 6-10 gap, as that is Evan round into the, and he's been disqualified from the race. That's very unfortunate. I don't know if he crashed or he yeah, that's Liam and Brendan in the pit, so that's not going to be ideal for their strategies with Jake. Cullen P13, drivers, yes, they exit the pit on what's going to be hard tyres, of course. We go back to the front. Fairs are stretching his gap just a little bit. The gap is around 7.5 tenths to 8 tenths. As we head onto the little straight on lap 2, Fairs has started really well so far. And you know, it was the same it was really the same in Spain. He started well. I mean, obviously Juan overtook him, but he got past one and really just consolidated his advantages. It's a bit Ferrari team orders perhaps. Just Juan Hernandez into P3. Oh, I hate that. That glitch, those noisy glitches, is really frustrating to listen to. I apologise, but really a bit of Ferrari team orders there. Obviously Juan Hernandez leading the championship right now. And he's seeing Fairs also dive down the inside, but you've seen he tried to dive on lap 1 and Jackson also defends, so you see him trying to make moves on both Ferrari drivers. The both Ferrari drivers defending really well, but it looks like you've seen he's got much more grip. Is he going to go around the outside here? Yes, he is. Is he getting the move done? Jackson is keeping his way in there, to be fair to him, but you've seen just seems to have more confidence in the cars. Vesta with a fast pass of the Grand Prix, so Vesta is really keeping with. Oh, and you see really squeezing Jackson to the wall. This is good racing between the two of them. And it looks like Jackson. Oh, you've seen this really overcooked it. Oh, and Jackson's around. I don't think he's going to be happy with that. Jackson is definitely not going to be happy with that. Bit of a, maybe a bit of a forceful move there. I'm not sure. We'll see in the steward reports later what the stewards think of that, but that did look a bit of a forceful move to me there. I don't know. We'll see. But that, his skills virus is up into P6. That's Jackson getting past Reverson. The medium tie is obviously faster than the hards right now. And that's Liam and Chloe have collided with each other. And Liam has no front wing at all. Is that a safety car? It looks like it's a safety. It's a virtual safety car. It's not the safety car that Liam, Chloe or Brendan needed. It's a virtual safety car, unfortunately for them three. As well as Jake, who probably needed it as well. So, not ideal for them. We do have a virtual safety car, so obviously the driver has to drive at a reduced speed, but they're not held back by a forced safety car. So we'll go to green flag running soon. Hopefully no driver speed. Unfortunately for Juan, now that I say that, he's got a 5-second penalty, so he's going to have to serve that eventually. Would he put on the budget safety car to get rid of the penalty? Of course he does not. They're going to stay out. Yeah, Vesta's really hanging on to the back of Persis, so it's looking like it's going to be a two-way battle for the win, unless your team can find a way to really get back to the front two, or one finds some pace. As we're still on the yellow flags now, into the pits. Charlie up into P9. Also, word to Damage on the hard tyres, currently P6, he's doing very well so far. And the other tyre is probably being his teammate, so Damage so far, so good for him. And we're still under yellow flag conditions. Hopefully they don't speed. Don't know how long this is going to go for. And Robin's got a drive-through penalty to go back to green flag running. There's always bound to happen. Robin is in P5. He's in P5 and he's going to throw away some good points, and he's got to hope that safety car does come out, because that's just hurt him. That's completely hurt his race, and that's Liam speeding in the pit lane, unfortunately. He's not going to be lapped, but he really needs a safety car to come out very, very soon. Otherwise, his race is just completely done for. But Avesta, he's in the DRS. Is he going to make a move? Oh, it looks like he is going to get on the inside, and he does go into the lead. Oh, it looks like he's gone off track a little bit. He has gone a little bit too deep in Fairs. Expertly letting him dive down the inside, knowing that he's not going to make the corner, and Fairs keeps the lead. But Avesta looking very, very strong right now. Looking the strongest out of the two. Both have similar ERS too. So, Avesta nearly spins it there on the exit. Keeps it in a straight line though. Avesta looking very, very strong. That's Charlie going up into P8. Ahead of Reverson in the hard tyres. It's a bit of Tyson up there from Charlie. As Robin is going to dive into the business of the drive-through penalty. That's not ideal for Robin. That's very unfortunate. He was in the points, and I mean, he can still salvage it because he looks like he had good pace, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. That's going to promote Damage up to P5. So once again, Damage is making the alternate strategy. He did it in Spain. He made the alternate strategy work, and so far he's making it work today. If he can finish in the top 5, I think that's going to be a very good result. And that's a vest. I don't know what's happened to him. He spun round. And and now his fight battling for the lead is really gone out the window. I don't know what happened there. I'm hoping there wasn't contact. It doesn't look like there was. He just made a mistake himself. I don't know. But Avesta dropping down to P5. So once again, we're still seeing mistakes from quite a few drivers, which is very unfortunate. So now Juan Hernandez is now going to assume P2, or the skills virus, is definitely the faster out of the two of them, and this DRS move should be relatively simple. Yes, it is. Juan doesn't fight it because he knows. Probably should have got this there. Issues to deal with. Fair still out in the lead, and Juan Hernandez is down into P4. I don't know what's happened to him, but maybe contact would be seen. I have no idea. I apologize for missing that. So that's promoted somehow Dammers up into P3 on the set of hard tyres. But he's got this train of cars behind him. And he's on the slower tyres. So I don't know how long this is going to last for. Vesta probably looks like the fastest out of the three of them so far. And it's Alpine 1-2. So Alpine really stretching their legs out in front at the moment. It's yet to be seen whether he has the pace to catch his teammate. I don't know. But he might. We'll see what happens in this one. And is in the DRS. And it doesn't look like he's going to get the move done. So that's Liam making a mistake. And the safety cars come out and Liam is saved, even though it looks like he made that mistake. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but we'll let it slide. Safety cars come out on lap 6 of 28. There's all the Alpine driver diving into the pits. Fairs does dive into the pits. You've seen him probably going to have to dive into the pits as well. He'll have to take the pain off. Although he won't lose any time, I don't think. So I think for Yassine, he will get away with it. This is going to promote Dammers into the lead. Juan Hernandez and Avesta both into the pit. Jackson into the pits. Charlie Ferguson is going to jump into P2. Goes fired up into the pits. Goes fired up with a time penalty. Robin, this is going to help Robin actually. You have everybody going on hard tyres. Yep. Hard tyres. Fairs coming on Peter ahead of Trevor Sin, so Fairs has got a car between him and his teammate. So Fairs looking very strong out of that. I don't know how long the hards are going to go, but so far so good for Fairs. Juan Hernandez coming out in P7, so that 5-second penalty's cost him. Jackson in P9, Jake in P11 setting mediums, which is very interesting to say the least. So far, lap 7 out of 28, and it's Dammers in the lead. Although he's got to pit again, obviously on the hard tyres. There's currently in P2, Ferguson in P3, Yassine in P4, Best in P5, goes fired up in P6, Fernandez in P7, Robin P8, Jackson P9, and Charlie in P10. Chloe retreating time penalty. So having to catch up to the back of the safety car. Except the safety car to come in at the end of lap 9 perhaps. So yeah, the safety car really has changed the complexion of this race somewhat. Because it's brought the field back together. So it's going to allow the guys. So it will allow guys like Robin and Vesta sort of they've now gained time back from Vesta spun, I don't know what happened, and Robin of course speeding under the safety car. So now that the field is back up, it gives people a second chance to sort of climb the order. So far, nothing really of note to really talk about, because you know everyone's going under a reduced pace, so we'll just stick on board with Dammers for the moment. And just see what's happening. Well, not see what's happening, but just sort of try and fill in the time. Just really wait for Chloe and Liam to catch to the back of the pack. Which is why I think the City will come in at the end of lap 9. of 28 so far. Fair's looking very strong at the moment, but Avesta also looks strong as well. So this race is not done by a long shot. I'll be curious to see how long these hard tyres can go. 20 laps, probably can do 20 laps easily. And it hurts the guys at Dammers who did start on hards originally. I think this is the risk that they run by starting on the hard tyres, that if the early sticker comes out, the strategy is ruined. Yep, so we're going to have one more lap of the safety car and then we can go back to green flag running. Stam is still in P1 on the hard tyres, so he's going to pit. He's going to pit for the mediums. He's got to hope another safety car comes out pretty much. All the guys are back, caught up to the back of the pack, and we're ready to go racing at the end of this lap. Dammers will be leading the field through the final corner into turn 1, hopefully. This will be the last of the safety cars. Yep, of course, safety car in this episode. Liam has I don't even know what happened. Liam crashed under safety car. Oh, that's not good for Liam. We've only got 14 drivers left. I wish I knew what happened, and I wish I could react with more shock. And I don't even want to know what happened, to be honest. I'm hoping that it was a mistake. I hope that no one crashed into him. Yes, we're ready to go back to green flag running. Dammers, of course, is going to be able to control the pace of the field. So you have to decide when to go. Safety car pulling into the pits. And when will Dammers go? I mean, I presume you go for the final corners. Everyone's got to be careful they don't hit each other. Jake and Formula 1 battling. Jesus, what are these guys doing? My word. Anyway, Dammers is going to go up to this corner. Obviously, he pretty much has to, and he has gone. But has Fair's managed to deal with it? No, he hasn't. Dammers getting a really good run. So he looks like he's going to maintain P1. Avesta, and you see him going side by side into turn 1. Avesta with a, quite frankly, brilliant restart. The skills of that, I mean, you've seen Avesta running for back of Scott there, but he looks like he's got away with wing damage. So Avesta up into, Scott off the track there, rejoined safely, Scott. And he does rejoin safely. Juan Hernandez is up into P6, so Juan Hernandez and Avesta moving up positions early in this race. Now Avesta being held up by Scott, and it's not ideal for Avesta. He needs to get past as we've seen him going to go around the outside. Now we're turning to the insiders. That's the one facing the complete wrong way. He's having a shocking race while his teammate is currently fighting Yassine for P4. So Avesta going in the... Avesta's been hit by Juan. There's a lot of contact going on at the moment. Currently goes right up into P9. That's Charlie round. Charlie is round there. But I think we'll do alright. We'll catch him back of the pack. So it's not all over yet for Charlie, and that's Fair's down the inside. into turn 1. Skills Virus making the move on Trevisin, and the Vessel attacking back at Trevisin. Is he going to go for a move here? He doesn't. The Vessel's really sort of in a sandwich right now, to be honest. He's got one behind him. Score in front of him. Oh, and Robin's going to go around the outside. He doesn't get a move done. Everyone's struggling at the moment. Everyone's very eager to make up positions on the City Car restart. That's TM Ducky up into PR's Ghost Fired Up, who's made an error. He's in the grass and he's going to move some laps on the error links. There's a 1 second gap to damage. Affairs really hasn't been affected by that. He's got a 1 second gap. Jackson and Robin battling for P7. Who's going to come out of double turn? Jackson's got the inside line. Robin's going to get the outside. And Robin's going a bit too deep then. He's probably going to lose the business with Jake. I don't think he will. Robin fending off Jake there. And the Vesta is still stuck behind Ferguson. So the Vesta needs to get past quickly. He's just losing precious time at the moment. Oh, Vesta really trying things. Vessel's really getting desperate here, and that's Chloe out the session. That is Chloe at the session. That's another safety car. There's another safety car, and that's closed the pack up yet again. If I was damaging for everything, I'd pick the mediums. You may as well go for it. 17 laps to go. Probably when the seat comes in, 15 laps, you should be fine. No point staying out more. Gotta go for it. Got another city car, another crash. This time closer. Both Aston Martins yet again. But it's still no points. It's a shame. It was a big shame. Very big shame. A very, very big shame. Will Dammers decide to dive into the pits? I think the answer would be yes. It's no, he doesn't. I'm surprised by that. Ferguson doesn't have the bits either. That's odd. I thought they would have gone for it personally, but clearly I'm wrong. Really, I know nothing about strategy, tactics, whatever. And they're both going to stay out. So Vessa really needs to get past Scott because I mean he's losing a lot of time. So we're back on this side, they've got no one into the pits, so this could be a quick safety car. I'm not too sure. Probably end it in at the end of this lap. There'll be no reason for it to stay up on. I hope it doesn't stay up on another lap, please. We just want racing. 16 laps, well, 16 laps to go. Fairs still has a teammate between, has a driver between him and the team in the scene. So Fairs, so far, he's made a little bit of advantage. And he's going to take the lead of the championship if he wins today. So far, Fairs are looking good. He's looking very, very good. If I end this lap, no it's not. All damage and everything, I'd pick for the mediums. I don't know, again, maybe that's just me. Oh, our skills virus out the session. I don't know what has happened. Why is everyone crashing under safety? I don't understand what's going on. Now it's only 12 drivers. What's happened to you see? I don't know. That's the second driver to crash under safety. Oh, he's all disconnected. That's very unfortunate. Because I apologize for the audio glitch. Oh, the lobby's broken. Is the lobby broken? do apologise for the one coming out in P12. Nothing to lose really. Go on a set of mediums, try and really. Jake is back. I hope Charlie has enough invites to rejoin. Because obviously I can't send him one, so hopefully Charlie rejoins. If not, that would be a disaster. Oh, they're both in, which is good, that's good. They're both in, thankfully. I was thinking the lobby broke for a second there, but clearly I'm wrong. Alright, Brendan's going to catch up to the back of the pack. He's not had a good race so far, but I mean, he's at the back of the pack and he's on a set of medium, so hopefully he'll be able to charge his way through the field on those set of medium. He's going to have a faster race tie. For how long they'll be faster, I don't know. Before the hards sort of come into play. So we'll have to wait and see what happens to Brendan, really. Safety car in this lap. Is Charlie taking control of his vehicle? No, he has not. Well, Jake has. So Charlie will probably just take control of it soon enough. He has taken control of it, thank goodness. So this time Fairs gets to lead them away for the start. Don't go too slow, Fairs, otherwise we get penalised. But we are ready to go for some more green flag running. Lap 13 is going to start lap 14. So half the race done, half the race to go. Fairs is looking very strong so far. In the first half, can he convert in the second half to possibly take the championship lead? We'll have to wait and see on that one. When is he going to go? Safety cars just put into the pit lane now. I presume Fairs will go. Oh, he's gone now. He's gone now. I apologize for the city glitch, everyone. He's gone earlier than that. He's gone before the final corner, which is very interesting. But it's going to help him maintain his lead as Ghost fired up his round into the wall. So he's not had a good restart. Meanwhile, Avesta is going to go down the inside. I don't know why Ferguson's fighting it hard. Maybe just, I mean, he can. He has a right to, I should say. That's very silly of me. But Avesta up into P3. So Avesta, he's still got a chance to win this race, even though he sort of got stuck behind Scott before. You've seen us out, and he's going to get past Dammers fairly easily. He's still got a chance to win this race, despite everything that's going on. And whoever's coming third, that's anyone's guess, really. That is anyone's guess so far. But Fairs 1.2 seconds out in front. Charlie would be on tempo, so he's not going to get a podium most likely. But yep, so Fairs currently in P1 got a 10 gap point. He's 10 points behind Fernandez. So if he wins today and Juan doesn't finish second, then he takes the lead of the championship, and S1 gets third and faster lap. Meanwhile, Avesta, easy move, simple move for Avesta up into P2, and he's going to set chase to Fairs. As that is Charlie going down the inside of TM Ducky, and Charlie is up into P9. I apologise for the audio glitch, everyone. There is simply nothing I can do about that. So I'll have to try and hide that as well as I possibly can. Anyway, the gap 1.2 seconds out in front. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on whether Avesta closes that gap or not as we look through the rest of the field. Juan Hernandez into the final corner. There's not a place where you typically make moves. The former teammates in Mercedes in Season 5 going wheel to wheel at it, and Juan Hernandez is up to P5. Trevor Silva is going to staying in the slipstream. Will he go for the move into turn 1? He will. There's no love lost between these two teammates, but they're keeping it very clean and respectful. It looks like they do keep it very clean. But Juan Mendes is a superior grip. He gets it done. He's up into P4. He's one position away from the podium, which to me is very surprising. I wouldn't have expected to see Juan on the podium, but strange things have happened. Because now Jackson is looking to follow his teammate through. He's got Robin behind him. So Jackson probably needs to get a move on here and just get it done. Oh, Scott runs wide there. And that's going to allow Jackson to go up into P, and Scott's going to rejoin behind Robin and ahead of Jake. As Jake, oh, nearly runs to the back of him. Oh, and there's contact between the Red Bull and the Ferrari. And if Brevesin ends up ahead out of all these guys on the straight, then that will just be really funny. It is really funny that he's actually somehow ahead of all of them again. Brevesin, he's magic, he really is. Jackson going to go for a double move here. No, he doesn't go for a double move, but Brevesin's been tagged by Robin. I think Jackson's going to get it. Jackson does get it. He's up to P5. He's probably he's lost a lot of time. What will Robin do? Robin goes down the inside. Oh, and there's a lot of contact. somehow these two make it through the corner. I don't know how, but they've made it through the corner. Ferguson defending extremely well here. Oh, on the inside. Ferguson is defending really well, but again, it's going to look like it's going to be in vain because Robin is probably going to overtake him because everyone's going off track. It seems Robin's pretty much pushing him through the corner here. So it's impressive that Ferguson has managed to keep up. Oh, is Charlie going to go down the inside here? Charlie's going to go down the inside of Robin. Is he going to keep it? Charlie makes the move stick. And Charlie is up into Beaver's. Oh, and Robin's going to go down the inside. This is just great racing between all of them. I think Robin is going to get the move done. It is, and Scott really sort of kind of gives it up eventually. Maybe he realised that he can't stay ahead of them, and he drops into P10. He's got a 3-second time penalty. So that was actually quite funny racing between all. It was a bit over the top, I'd say at times, but I think they all managed to get through just fine. We'll just call it hard racing. Meanwhile, Vesta is in the 1 second gap and he's got DRS. That's Duck and Ferguson battling for P9 and P10. Oh, Duck really being aggressive there, I'm not sure. The one is got a great run on Ferguson. Got more ERF as well. The one up into a points paying position. Going back on the racing lane. Is he going to go for Ducky as well? No, he does not. The one is up into 10th position. But it's back at the front. Vesta's closing on Affairs, so like I said, Affairs did show great pace, but I did forget Vesta was showing great pace as well. And I think it did say Vesta looked like he was the faster of the two drivers. That's Charlie up into P6 past Robin, but Charlie's got a penalty to contend with. That's not going to help his cause. There's Vesta, he's keeping in touch. Oh, he's a bit wall spin there, but he sets a fast lap of the Grand Prix in the process. So Vesta looking very, very strong right here, and this race is not over yet. Yellow flag, as goes fired up, unfortunately spinning again. That's not ideal, that's not great for him at all. And Dammers is really going to have to hope for his safety car to come out soon, otherwise he's probably going to finish in P11, it looks like. The rest of the even though there's a bit of wall spin there sometimes, just he does look, he's looking at one with the car, and he could actually be one of the few drivers. He could be one of a select few to take a World Top League debut. Of course, I did that. Obviously, our good friend Moritz, back then his boy road, he took a Top League win on debut as well. So maybe Avesa could be joining that select few. But we will have to wait and see what happens. The gap is 1.1 seconds. So there's maybe a bit stronger there in that second sector, but Avesa did have DRS, so he just needs to stay on the DRS. That's probably the most important thing. Because Dammers is really holding on Juan Landers quite well, and that's Formula 1 up into P9. Is it? It is. The medium tyres with more grip, and they're younger too, so that's just really gonna happen. But Tim Duck is gonna go down the inside here. That corner has been used a lot for overtaking this race. Formula 1 is now stuck behind Ducky, which is not what he wanted. Until he had the move done, he's now stuck behind him. That's Trevor Sin spinning in his brave battling of the points position. Is going to come to an end. Oh, and that's goes fired up spinning again. So both Williams spinning in the space of 10 seconds there. They've had a shocking race. But if a driver ahead of them retires, then they'll get points. So, you know, and that's Team Ducky Formula 1 battling still. And Formula 1, is he going to get a better exit? He's not. Well, he's on the inside there, a bit of wheel banging there. Who's going to back out first? Oh, Formula 1 forcefully getting up with the P9 there. So Formula 1 finally gets the move done, and he'll be trying to close the gap ahead of him, although it may be too late. Well, I don't rule it out. Anyway, back to the front of Vesta. That gap is getting smaller. Vesta is at the point he's having to weave to break the slip from him. So Vesta looking stronger out of the two this race. That's for sure. Obviously, Fez is going to have to play this race smart here. Does he go what defend, or does he let Vesta get P1, knowing that he might be faster? Who knows? Because they're not. They don't. I don't think they have. I don't think they're going to be threatened by the Ferraris behind them. So you just have to wait and see. Oh, he's a bit of a snap there for Vesta. You can see that. Put that on the on this shot, the off-board shot. But he saves it, and he's still within the 1 second. So maybe Vesta's just gonna probably try and save ERS. Oh, wheel spin there. Vesta really pushing that car. He is definitely pushing that car to keep up with Fares. Don't crash, Vesta. Don't crash. Honestly, because this could be a very exciting finish at the end of the race. I don't know who's gonna win, but Vesta is very much hanging on in there. One man is still behind Damage, so Damage is showing, I guess, decent enough pace to stay ahead of Ferrari, which is surprising to me. But hey, maybe one good for win that race. Jackson is starting to close into his teammate as well. So the battle for the podium, from the podium position, may not be done just yet. It may not be done just yet. Yeah, Jackson looks like he's closing, but Juan has the DRS on Damage ahead of him. Will Juan get the move done? He doesn't get a good exit, and that's TM ducking out the session, and that's Ferguson up into the point. Would it be a safety car? Oh, there's a safety car, and Damage has just won. He's won out here. His strategy staying on the hards. This is where it pays off. Lap 19 of 28. Will he go on a set of mediums? Will he go on a set of softs? I do not know. Ferguson has also benefited from that too. And Ghost Fired Up is back in the race. What will the front two do? Will anybody risk it to go on a set of softs? Will the softs make it? I don't think it will, personally. I don't think it will at all. However, someone might risk it. What does Fares do? Fares, he does in the pits, and the Vesta follows him in. They both, ooh, Vesta needed on the back of him. I predict there's going to be a set of softs for both of them. Dammers also diving into the pits. One into the pits, everyone's going into the pit. Of course, Dammers are going to go into the pits. No one's staying out. Well, maybe no one stay out. That's the question. Brendan, stay out. You can stay out, Brendan. He comes in, soft and soft. Is that a Vesta or Fares? Fares coming out in front. Is that? As Dammers on a set of mediums, good choice, Adam. Very, very good choice. I would have gone for mediums as well, personally. Don't know how long the softs will last for. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone can correct me in the comments. I don't know. I don't think the softs will last that long. But Dammers, in my opinion, going for the better decision is on lap 2028, or maybe the softs will last around 7 laps. I don't know. I don't know, but it's interesting. As Ferguson's also on a set of mediums, so Williams are going to score points. It just depends which Williams driver, unless they crash before like lap 25. Oh, and that's one under. He's disconnected, and I can't send him an invite back. So hopefully he's got one. But you see all these drivers on soft tyres. I predict that the safety car is going to come in at the end of lap 21. So probably what, 6 laps to do on this soft tyres. Even though the soft tyres are going to be wearing out already, this is a very interesting strategy. Very, very interesting strategy. I don't know what the drivers are going to do here. I don't know. Well, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know, yeah, I don't know how the drivers are going to approach this one. It's going to be very interesting to see what they do. I'm not a fan of the soft. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone can correct me. I could be wrong. Please, if anyone's watching, whoever's watching. Jackson and Jake, I don't know what they're doing here. Oh, maybe there's probably a bit of an issue there. I think they would have been able to resolve it. Yeah, they have resolved it. Jake expertly going off track there. let Jackson get free position without any penalties. Just left there from them too. I'm not gonna. I won't know. I don't know. I don't think he has it for it. That just looks like a glitch from the game, to be honest. Under the safety car. Anyway, at 10:28, the helicopter shot looking magnificent. I love this. Is probably one of my favourite shots of the really entire calendar. The helicopter shot on sector 1. I think it looks brilliant, really. The helicopter did look beautiful. Anyway, so lap 28. We've got 7 laps to go. 6 when the we're gonna go back to green flag running, and it's gonna be Fairs leading once again. What will Vesta do on the soft tyres? That's really the big question. What can Vesta do? Because he looked very strong. Will he challenge for the win? Will he settle for second? I think he should go for the win. And what will Fairs do? Will he fight hard, really hard to keep his Will he fight really hard to keep his P1, or will he just let Vesta go? I don't know. It's a marathon, not a sprint. The wise words of Lewis Hamilton there. But of course, we all know what happened 5 minutes after he said that, so maybe not the best omen for Fairs, I don't think. Anyway, City Car is in this lap, as I predicted. We've got 11 drivers left, so Williams look like they'll score points if they can make it to the end of lap 25. If they can make it to the end of lap 25 without crashing, then at least one of them will score points. So the drivers are warming up their tyres. I wish I knew what percentages they were. I'd have to try and find a driver who's streaming to check his percentage on the soft tyres and really compare it to Dammers, who will be slow in the beginning. Maybe he wishes he can go on the soft as well. I don't know. It's going to be struggle to warm up those tyres. That's why they're weaving like crazy. Fairs went before the last corner last time. He's gone already. That's interesting. That is very interesting. And he's put Dammers out massively. So the front two have already gained 1.5 seconds, and Dammers has definitely been caught out, probably because the mediums are going to take longer to warm up. As Robin, he senses that our podium in the car, maybe going to get on the inside. No, but one brakes a lot later, and they avoid contact. Jackson, big mouth, Fairs with the 3 second time penalty, and that's going to help the Vesta win if he can just keep it on the track and not go off track. So Fairs just pretty much really thrown away a race victory here for Everton with 3 second time penalty. I thought that was not one there. A mistake is one. The soft tyres just have a lot more grip right now, but Dammers parking like a whole bus. There's Jackson being forced off track there. Is he going to get overtaken by Charlie? Yes, he is. Jackson from battling for P4 is now battling Charlie for P6 and P7, and Dammers is having to get off track here. And Charlie does get ahead of Jackson, so there's not a good restart for Jackson here, as Dammers is going to be battling this one, and that is out of the session! The championship leader is out of the session. We have another safety car. We have another safety car. That is, I don't know what happened there. There's Juan Hernandez, the Champions League is out of the Grand Prix. I don't think he's going to be tapped with Dammers there, because it looked like that him and Dammers had contact, and yeah, they did have contact because Dammers into the pits, and that's going to promote Robin up into P3. So Dammers, from what looked like a strong position, is now going to be sent to the back of the grid with a potential penalty. And Trevor Sin, I mean, a lot of drivers are in the pits actually. Jackson, Jake goes right up. I mean, Trevor Sin is up into P5 now on a set of mediums, however. But Jackson making the switch to fresher softs, that does make a lot of sense for Jackson actually. Jackson, Jake, yeah, they're all on fresher soft tyres, so that does make a lot of sense actually. That's a good strategy for those guys. We're now gonna have to go for restart number three maybe. Yes, we're gonna restart number 3. As again, according to the sound audio, we're gonna have 4 more laps of racing. Again, I apologise for the audio glitch, everyone. No, we're not going to follow us racing. William's going to say they're out for yet another lap, which is not what I anticipated. I should have anticipated that, actually. This damn is all the way back into P10, where he was in P3, and a collision with Juan, which I expect Juan is not going to be too happy with, and I'm probably saying the obvious there. I do apologise. Very, very frustrating. Back to the 28, so I don't know how worn the soft tires are going to be, but they definitely helped by being behind the safety car. So we're going to have 4 more laps of just hard racing. So this should be very exciting indeed. Hopefully we'll have no more safety cars and we'll just get green flag running to the end of the race. Only 10 cars are left in the session, and Williams are going to score points, which is finally. It's really odd, just finally. Yes, I do believe the safety car is in this lap. It's was in this lap. It came up low. The safety car is in this lap. Apologise for the lack of speech there. I don't really know what to talk about when there's only 10 drivers left in the Grand Prix. Anyway, when will Fairs go this time? He tends to go before the final corner, which is a pattern that I have noticed, and Avesta did follow him well last time. Again, apologize for the audio glitch. I'm hoping he sorted himself out, and Fairs has gone, and he looks like he may have caught Avesta out just a little bit there. So Fairs' tactic so far is going well, but Avesta is keeping up with him very well. He's on enter the lap 25 off 28. Jackson looks like he's got a very good run. Again, I really apologize for this shockingly bad audio. I can't do anything about that. It looks like Jackson is going to get the move done. Yes, he does get the move done. And he's potentially going to beat Charlie as well. So Charlie ahead of him as a penalty. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, Ghost fired up ahead of Mimula 1. Mimula 1 still at the back, but he will benefit from the drivers ahead of him, who has penalties. Of course, Ghost fired up with another penalty, so he's going to certainly consign himself to P10 unless a driver ahead of him makes a monumental error. Dammers in P8, Jake Marsh in P7, all the way back to Ferguson, and this should be the move that will be completed for P6, it looks like. And Vesta doesn't even need to push that hard because he knows he's got the win in the bag, unless he wants to get it on track just to fully secure it, which could be the case. He knows that. I mean, Fairs got a 3-second time point ahead of him, and I don't think any of them can be. I don't think any of the corner cuts can be disputed. So Vesta's really just got to keep it clean, and he's going to win the Grand Prix. Mercedes will keep their streak alive. Ferguson and Jake Marsh battling for for P6. Jake Marsh trying to go down the inside. Oh, he doesn't get it done. Ferguson defending very admirably this race, has to be said, but Jake will get ahead of him, although he's got to worry about Dammers behind him, who thinks about a move down the inside, he just doesn't quite get it done. Anyway, back to the front. There's just really a Vesta and Fairs, just them two are in a league of their own. as we start lap 26, and that goes fired up. He's spun, but he knows he's going to get points anyway, so he doesn't need to worry about that. Fairs has set the fast lap of the Grand Prix, and he's going to look. It looks like he's going to take the championship lead as well if he can finish this Grand Prix in the top 5. Yes, if he gets finished in the Grand Prix in the top 5, or yeah, top 5 will take the championship lead. So far, it looks like he's going to take the lead of the championship, which signals his intentions for the rest of the season. As Robin gets a 3-second time penalty, and that's going to potentially promote Jackson into the final podium position if he can keep it clean and on the track. No penalty, so this could be still Ferrari could still salvage a podium out of this one. But I don't want to commentate curse him just yet. Jake Marsh still behind Forever Sin, and he's got Dammers right behind him as well. What Dammers think about moving down the inside? Oh, he does. Jake gives him the space, and Dammers, a bit of contact there, definitely a bit of argy-bargy there. Jake is not going to be happy with that, as Forever Sin really weaving, going to the left of the track to try and break the slipstream. What will Jake do in response? Will he go for it? It looks like I think he will go for it. Inside the outside, it looks like he's going to go for the outside. He's going to switch to the inside. Oh, and he's overcooked it somewhat. And that's a poor rejoin from Jake, to be honest. And Jake has just taken out Dammers, and that is not what I want to see from any of the drivers trying to take the fellow driver out. As that is Robin in the gravel. I don't even know what's happened there. It's all going badly wrong. It is all going very badly wrong. Is that the Forever Sin making a mistake, it looks like? And Dammers up into P5 out of all of that. I don't know how. But Dammers up into P5. Both the AlphaTauris are going to be battling into turn 1. Who's going to come out on top? Dammers are going to come out on top. Charlie choosing to stay right behind. As yep, out in front, the two frontier fighters, really, they've been the whole race. They've just been in a class of their own, and it looks like Avesta's probably going to want. I mean, Avesta hasn't even used that much ERS. Avesta definitely. I mean, actually, Avesta's been the fastest out of the two this race, and it looks like he's just going to take P1. Fairs is going to try his absolute best to defend, but in my opinion, it's absolutely no use. Avesta is going to fly past. And Fairs looked like he was going to take P1. So that's Charlie and Dammers. Charlie now ahead of Dammers, and he's back into P4, but Dammers will probably finish in P4. What can Jackson do? 3.5 second gap. If that gap comes down to 3 seconds, Jackson could be seeing a P2. The gap is 3.2, 3.4. So we'll keep an eye out on Jackson for the last lap. Fairs will have the advantage of getting some DRS from the Vesta. So maybe Fairs will be able to keep his P2. And I think he might do. He might keep his P2. So Jackson will probably take P3 here. But Avesta is just gonna maintain P1. Yeah, Fairs doesn't have the speed. Avesta probably on balance. I'd say he's been the fastest driver on track, and he's gonna earn a well-deserved P1 in my books. I think he's been brilliant today. And an added bonus, he gets to keep the Mercedes streak of winning a race in every year. And that's Mimula 1 battling Forever Sin for P7. And he's going to get P6 as well, potentially even more than that, as Dammers has got plenty ahead of him. I mean, I think Mimula 1 can potentially get P4 if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to really sort of curse him or anything, as Jake Marsh is spun, unfortunately. But Mimula 1, he's right behind Forever Sin, so I'm not sure. Mercedes could be getting a very good result, even though Forever Sin, I think he's holding him up somewhat. Anyway, the gap ahead, Fairs, he's got the DRS. Jackson, the gap is 3.5, so it looks like Jackson is going to have to settle for P3 at the moment. Mimula 1 with such an easy move, and I think Robin will probably get past him as well. Yeah, he will. Again, I apologize for the audio glitch. As yep, Dammers is ahead of Charlie. But anyway, go back to the front of Vesta in the Mercedes. He's been, yeah, I think this you can't deny he's deserved to win this race. And he's going to become a select few to win a Torpedo League race on his debut. He's going to come across the line. Is he going to drive to the left? Yes, he's going to drive to the pit wall. Vestal wins in USA, and you can't say it's not deserved. It is very well deserved. Fairs finishes P2. Jackson in P3. Dammers in P4. And I believe Brendan is going to get P5 based on penalties. Yes, he is. He does. Robin Charlie P6 by 9,000. So in the one there. 9,000 separating P5 and P6. Robin finishes P7. Freverson is somehow out of all of that going to get 2 points for all the Williams team, and Ghost Fired Up is going to score points as well, and Jake just carrying on without front wing as well as Ghost Fired Up too. So yep, Ghost Fired Up P9, and Jake will get the final point in P10. So Vesta winning on his debut. Very impressive drive, that's to be said. So yeah, that's the winning on debut. Congratulations to him. So, Mercedes back on top when it looked like it looked very unlikely. They're back on top once again, and somehow Fairs and P2. I mean, for me, somehow. So, Vesta finishing in P1, Fairs in P2, and Jackson, out of all of that, salvaging a P3 for Ferrari. Dammers in P4, Brendan in P5, great recovery from Brendan, Charlie P6, Robin P7, Freverson P8, Ghost Fired Up P9, Jake P10, Juan P11, Ducky P12, you've seen P13, Chloe, Liam, and Evan running out the DNF, so only 10 finishes. So, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in to this one. It wasn't the best in terms of driving standards, and hopefully that will be improved for next week. And yeah, congratulations to Vesta for winning on this day. And until then, we'll see you next week for the Miami Grand Prix. First time we're going to race there, and the second half of the year, so doubleheader. So until then, goodbye, and thank you to everyone who tuned in, and we'll see you next week. And make sure to check the Torpedo Instagram page for results and interviews and stuff like that. Goodbye.